Okay. Um, and obviously you need 5 distributors so you can get set up for that promotion and that bonus. So I want to make sure that we talk about that and get you guys set up for success. So the easiest way to get those 5 distributors when you first join is to go to your friends, your family, the people that are already in your life, and invite them to do this with you. Get your friends to do this business with you, and you can literally go to them and be like, hey, I just started this business, I'm really excited about it, I'm going to make money with this, and make money with me, we can do it together, it'll be fun. So sometimes when you're friends with people, you can just be like, hey, we're going to do this. Okay. Like, we're like, just make an executive decision and get them to do it with you. And a lot of times your friends will just be like, okay, whatever. So, there's a little chart that has like your sister, your best friend, your aunt, your neighbor, like 5 different people that everybody knows. And you can get all 5 of those people to join you and you're already set up for that $1,000 bonus. So that's really awesome. Now, outside of that is what I really want to focus on because, we only have so many friends and family, and that's only going to get you so far. You might not even have enough people that are close to you. I only had, a couple of people that I was really close to in the beginning. So I want to go over how you're going to enroll distributors now and every single month for the life of your business because your steps to success have you enrolling 3 distributors every month, but that's really just like a bare minimum thing. Like that's just, being average, getting by. That's like making a C in your class. Like that's not what we're striving for. We're striving for straight A's. We want to bring in a lot more than 3 people a month. And that's how you're really going to grow your business and get to, that $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, like the big bucks is enrolling lots of distributors every single month and helping those people get customers and teaching them how to go Ruby and get their own $1,000 bonus. And that's how your business really explodes. So there's a few things that I do every single day to enroll distributors every single month. The first one is to post. And when you're brand new, you probably are like, I have no idea what to post. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. What do I say? Blah, blah, blah. And that's totally normal to feel that way. So when I first started, I would just, look at other people who I knew were successful and I knew were making money and were these higher ranks and see what types of things they were posting. And a lot of times you're going to see, leaders talking about like big financial things that they have accomplished. And you're going to be like, well, like, I'm not there yet. Like, I haven't bought a house with this business. I haven't bought a car. I haven't paid off my credit card. Like, that hasn't happened yet. And that's okay because we all start somewhere and we all start at, nothing basically. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to get through this without coughing the whole time. Jen, if I like yell at you to take over, just take over. But, so we call that life posts, and that is you posting about the opportunity in some way. So when you're brand new, it can literally be as simple as, I'm sitting at my kid's soccer game and I'm able to be on my phone working and make this extra income on top of my full-time job. And, this extra income is going to allow us to buy groceries, or it's going to pay for my car insurance, or it's going to pay for the phone bill, or it's going to buy milk, like whatever, you're needing when you join this business. We all have different struggles and we all join for different reasons. So you just have to get super personal. And sometimes it's not, fun to share your struggles, but you have to understand that a lot of people are struggling on some level, and you want to relate to those people and kind of give them hope and show them that this opportunity can help them. And, if you're not sharing your struggles, it's going to be hard to connect with people in that way. So it's kind of something that you have to get used to, and you really have to push yourself out of your comfort zone at first. But, even if you go sell one of the wraps out of your starter kit, you can, like, I remember literally holding up cash next to my face and saying, I just met so-and-so in a parking lot and sold this wrap and made $25 and it's going to fill up my gas tank. And people would like blow up my phone wanting to know what I was doing, because most people can't even fill up their gas tank. Like, how many of you all probably go to the gas station and get like $5 or $10 at a time? Because like, you literally don't have $25 to fill up your tank. So, you know, there's tons of other people out there who are going to look at that and be like, wow, if I could fill up my car, like that would be so amazing. And they're going to reach out to you and see how they can do that as well. So you have to get creative. You know, I'm always looking for new ways to share this business and like what it's doing for me and what it can do for me, and always like coming up with new goals and dreaming. But you know, at the end of the day, your story is your story to a certain extent. Like, it's only going to evolve so much with time. And so, you know, a lot of times people are like, I feel like I'm posting the same thing over and over. But that's okay, because that means you're sharing your story. That means you're being consistent. And that's a good thing, because consistency is key in this business. So you kind of just, you know, you can literally sit and practice. Like, just go to the notes on your phone and think about your struggles and what you want this business to do. And you just have to go out there and claim it in your post. And you just have to have that belief. You know, you haven't made money yet, but you're going to. So do you guys have any questions about posts or anything else that's popped in your head so far? Jen, do you want to add anything about posting for distributors?
Did you learn anything about posting story? I know Haley has made a really awesome story on Instagram, and she's also shared it on Facebook, and I've done the same thing. And both of us have gotten like people asking questions. Like, we basically created our story via pictures and put words on the pictures and just told our story that way. And you may have just joined the business, but you know, you can talk about how you may or may not have watched us for a long time. You know, we may have talked to you for a while. You may have not been able to buy gas for yourself. Like, just give one or two little snippets and some pictures of yourself. It doesn't even have to be anything, you know, spammy or anything. Like, Haley uses pretty pictures. I use pretty pictures. It doesn't have to be about anything that you're talking about. And how you're going to turn that, you know, $99 investment into a $500 a month income. And it has, you know, it can be simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of mine are short and sweet. Some of mine, you know, I go on and tell every detail. Like, it's just whatever I'm feeling that day or at that moment. But another thing I like to do is, when I'm talking to potential distributors, whatever their concerns may be, like if they're afraid they don't have time, if they're afraid no one will buy from them, if they're like, if they think they don't have the money to get started, I will kind of make a post like addressing their concern almost, because if you have one person feeling that way, there's probably other people watching you who feel the same, but maybe they, you know, have been too scared to reach out, or you haven't gotten around to reaching out to them yet. So I get inspired by a lot of different things. I also listen to audiobooks every day, and a lot of times I'll get ideas from stuff like that. And, you know, just being really positive, I think, is very important, because that is refreshing. I mean, if you get on Facebook and Instagram, you see people complaining, drama, negativity all day long. And so a lot of times I'll have people reach out to me and just like thank me for, you know, being kind of a light on their timeline. And people notice that, and people watch that, and they're attracted to that. Like, if you're complaining all the time and being negative, you know, people don't want to feel that way. And it's not that you have to, you know, live a lie or anything like that. Like, be real and be yourself, but this business should change you and make you more positive if you're, doing personal development, working on your mindset. And so I try to incorporate that. And, it's not that I'm being fake. I just don't feel the need to like blast problems all day long, because there's enough problems in the world, and I want to be different because that's going to make me stand out. And like I said, people are attracted to me for that reason, because it makes them feel good, and people like to feel good. And they think, if they join my team and be a part of what I'm a part of, that they'll feel good too. So I think that's also really important to note. I don't know if you guys can see, but all of my pictures are like bright, fun, whatever. I don't put words ever. I never put like an image that's words on my timeline, because I hate how that looks. It's always like faces or like a picture I took with my phone, not like some black and green image that I made that says join my team. Like, that's not what you want. So really focus on like the quality of the content that you're putting out. Okay, so I think that's good on posting. So the next thing I do is message people. So in the beginning, you are messaging, at least 100 to 200 people a day, asking them if they're interested in the products, because you're trying to get your first 5 customers. After you get that 5th customer, you want to kind of transition into messaging for distributors. So you're reaching out to people about the opportunity. And I can read the message that I send. It's kind of long, but just to give you an idea. Well, it's not that long. Okay, so when I'm messaging for distributors, I say, hey, quick question. So I'm not really sure if you've seen my post at all, but I work for an awesome company that offers a ton of different products that are all plant-based. I was super nervous to reach out, but I felt like I really needed to. You seem super friendly and outgoing, plus you're super pretty. I think you'd be absolutely amazing at what I do, plus you're already doing it and should definitely be getting paid for it. Would you be interested in extra income? So that's what I use. There's a million different things that you can say. You don't want to message people and be like, hey, I'm looking for people to join my team. It's $99 and you do this, this, and this, and you get this, this, and this. Like, you don't want to do that. You're basically just like complimenting them, saying why you're reaching out, and asking them if they're interested in hearing more. And so they either say yes or no. If they say yes, I'm getting their phone number, I'm texting them and giving them a lowdown. So you want to be sending screenshots to your upline so they can walk you through these conversations, because it is possible to like kind of say the wrong thing or like overwhelm people with too much information. And that's what we're here for. Like, we've been doing this, a lot of us, for years. So we know the right things to say and how to give people the information in the right way. So definitely let your upline walk you through these conversations. Hang on. There's stuff in the chat and I haven't been paying attention. Okay. So I personally message like a bare minimum 200 people a day on Instagram. Plus I'm messaging on Facebook for host to post. And you can do a distributor host to post as well. Hang on, somebody's unmuted. Okay, so I'll ask people if they'd be willing to make a post for me, and I'll enter them for a free product, and I'll literally just send like grains on the go or coffee or like whatever samples I have. And let me find what I have them post. And these usually work really well. Okay, so I have one that says, my friend Haley is looking for a few people who want to make $600 to $800 a month strictly from their phone, must be hardworking, motivated, and know how to use social media. Comment below and she'll send you more info. And then I have one that says, who needs an extra $600 to $800 a month? My friend Haley is hiring a few work from home positions, must be 18 plus and have a smartphone. Comment below to be sent more info. So then all these people are like, me, what is it? Blah, blah, blah. And then, that's another way to get leads. And you can obviously you will message the people who comment on the post and have the same kind of conversation. So I have the same conversation every single time. I can read through one for you guys, but I feel like it's definitely best to just have your upline walk you through it at first. But let me see if I can find one. Okay, so I always text them because I don't like to have conversations on Instagram. So I always get their number and I say, hey, it's Haley from Instagram. So do you know anything about network marketing? And they're going to be like, yeah, my aunt sold Mary Kay, or yeah, I did Avon, or no, never heard of it, or whatever. But that just kind of gives you a general idea of, you know, if they have any misconceptions is basically why I post, because sometimes, you know, Aunt Sally sold Pampered Chef and didn't make any money. So that's what they associate with network marketing. So I like to like go into the conversation having that knowledge if they have any weird misconceptions about what I do. So that way, it's like, I just feel like it's good to know. So anyways, they're going to say whatever. And then pretty much no matter what they say, I say, so I'm an independent distributor for It Works Global. We offer a variety of products made from natural ingredients for improving overall health, weight loss, and skincare. It's super simple. You simply do what you already do on your cell phone, post. I work my business through Instagram and Facebook and strictly through social media. You're just posting, tossing a few It Works posts in. People are interested and want to buy what you have. You also don't have to keep stock on hand or anything like that. You're simply guiding them to order from your personal site, then it's shipped from a warehouse close to them and you get paid. So basically, I get to use the products for a big discount while making money from my phone. And then I go back and forth because I can't decide what I like better, but I either say, how much money are you interested in making per month? Or I say, what would an extra, you know, $800 to $1,000 a month do for you? And then they, you know, again, say whatever. And then I kind of respond to whatever they say, just depending on how it goes. But then my next like script, I guess you would call it, the next part of the conversation that I go into explains to them what we do, because I want people to know what to expect if they sign up, because I don't want people to sign up, not know what they're getting themselves into, and then, you know, not do anything. I want people who know what they're going to be doing on a daily basis so that they jump in and do it, because there's no point in them signing up if, you know, they never do anything with it. So the next thing I say is, it's not something you have to devote your whole life to, but there's a difference between making $50 because you're only kind of into it and making $1,000 because you're all in. And then I kind of, this is like part of my personal story, so you would have to edit this to fit yourself. But I say, I started this business working part-time, going to school full-time with 19 credit hours as a newlywed, living with my husband in his parents' basement and figuring out how to handle adult life. So that lets them know, like, I was super busy. And so they're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm too busy, I can't do this. Like, that sets them up to let them know I was super busy and I was still able to fit this in. So then I say, so what we do is easy. I post about the products in the business a couple times a day. I follow and make new friends on Facebook and Instagram, people who have things in common with me. I talk to people like how we're talking now about the products in the business, and I follow up with people who give me a date to order or who have to wait until next payday. So think logically. Could you fit those 4 things into your daily schedule now? And I ask that because some people are going to straight up say, no, I'm not willing to make time for that. And then I'm like, okay, this isn't for you. Like, maybe you want to try the products. And then I can transition back into products. But again, I don't want people to sign up who aren't even willing to do those things, because it literally defeats the whole purpose. I would say that 85 to 90% of people say yes, because, like, you know, it's not that hard to fit those things in. Occasionally I will have people say no, though, and that's fine. I would rather know now than after they sign up and, you know, waste both of our time. So most people say yes. And at that point, I go straight into how to get started. So let me find my price message. And I use scripts. I don't see a problem with it because I typed most of the scripts. Like, so it sounds like me, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I don't sound like a robot because like I wrote them in the first place, but like you say the same thing over and over to so many people that like it's stupid to tap it all out. But like you can talk to more people because you're saving time by just having these scripts in your text replacement, because the conversation pretty much goes the same every single time anyways. So after they tell me they can fit it in, I say, okay, awesome. It's just $99 one time to get started. That gets you the starter kit, which comes with a box of 4 wraps to try yourself or to make your money back. I can teach you how to sell the wraps for $100 cash right out of the gate. So you make your money right back and then a whole lot more. Are you ready to get started? And if we ever have like a deal, like if there's extra stuff in the kit, like you would edit that obviously and like include that. But so I just keep it like super short and sweet, nonchalant. That's the info they need. And so at that point, I've said, are you ready to get started? They're either going to say yes, and we're going to sign them up, or they're going to say, you know, I get paid in 2 weeks. Can I do it then? You're going to say, yeah, sure. You're going to put their name in your calendar. You're going to follow up with them. Or sometimes people will say that they don't have the money. And so obviously at any point in the conversation, like they could have some kind of objection, like, oh my gosh, I don't think I have time for this, or like something that's freaking them out. Sometimes people are afraid that they won't be able to sell anything. So I do have a list of responses, like if they say they don't have the money or they say they're afraid they won't be successful, like kind of what I say back, but I'm not going to read all of that and waste time. So if you get responses like that and it doesn't go perfectly, because it definitely won't every time, just send a screenshot and your upline can help you with what to say back. So, but that's my like general conversation. So you guys don't want to wait on people to come to you, because sometimes people are just nervous to reach out. Sometimes people just aren't paying attention to your posts. Like, you never know. So I don't have time to wait on people to come to me. So that's why I message at least 200 people a day. Most days I've been doing like 300 or 400, just because I want the fastest results possible. Like, I want to move forward as quickly as I can. And honestly, copying and pasting a message to people, like, it really doesn't take that long. I can message 100 people in like 25 minutes tops, because I just go down the list and copy paste. So, you know, I'm really only spending like an hour and a half or so sending out messages, and then I just respond as I get responses. So, you know, even if you guys are really busy, like, you can still make this business work in your life. And that's the cool thing about it, because we take our phones with us anywhere, and you're just responding to a text like you would if your mom texted you or whatever, you know what I mean? So maybe you're more conscious of it, because some of y'all probably don't get right back to your mom, but it's like, it's the same concept. And it's like, I have moments where I'm like, wow, I can't believe I make this much money to do this. Like, I work hard, but it's like so simple, the things that you're actually doing. So basically, however fast you want to go, it's a big numbers game. So if you just want to chill and like take it day by day, message your 100 people and do your thing. But if you're like ready to go and make money and earn this $1,000 bonus this month, and, you know, go from there and make $2,000 a month, make $5,000 a month, like some of us already do, like, you want to message as many people as quickly as you possibly can, because the more people you reach out to, the more yeses you get. So I think that's like super important to point out to you guys. If you feel like you're not getting the results that you want, that just means that you need to do more. So posting and messaging are 2 huge things, but the other 2, there's 2 more things that I do. And the third one is follow up. So that obviously means, like, if somebody tells me they get paid next Friday and that's when they want to get started, obviously, like, I have a reminder in my phone to follow up with them that day. That's a given. But you also have to follow up with people who just fall off or who you don't get a date out of, because a lot of times, you know, you'll send your first or second or third message and they won't respond. So a big thing that I do every single day, I used to do it at night before I went to bed, but now I do it first thing in the morning before I start messaging new people. I follow up with everybody I was talking to yesterday. So since I'm getting everybody's phone numbers, they're all right in my text. So I literally just scroll through my text and from the day before and see, like, if things fell off. So if I notice that somebody didn't respond to a message, and I end every single message that I send to people with a question. I don't know if you guys notice that, but every message I send ends in a question. So if they didn't respond, I'm literally just going to text them a question mark. Simple as that. Like, I ended in a question. They didn't respond to me, so I'm like, hello, did you get that? Did you read that? Hello, I'm still here. So I just send a question mark. It takes like a split second, not even a whole second, to just go like do question marks to people who didn't respond to you. And a lot of times people are like, oh, sorry, I was doing XYZ, like my cat ran away or whatever, and they'll get back to you and it's no big deal. So don't be afraid to do that. And then if people like don't give me a date, but they show interest, they're just like on my follow-up list. So when I first started, I followed up with everybody once a week, but now I've been doing this 3 years, so I literally have like 1,000 million potentials. So the people who like aren't, you know, quickly responding, like the conversation isn't jumping back and forth, or like they've been ignoring me or whatever, I just try to follow up with everybody I've ever talked to at least once a month. So I kind of cycle through everybody at least once a month, because you'll have those people who like don't respond to you for a few months, but you never stop following up until they sign up or they block you or one of you dies. And I know that that sounds extreme, but I have literally followed up with people 10 times with absolutely no response. And then time number 11, they respond and sign up. So like, if I would not have done that, someone else would have eventually found them and they would have signed up with that person.
Or what happens is you don't follow up with them. You know, you'll follow up with somebody 4 or 5 times and you're like, well, they're not interested. So you don't follow up with them again. Guess what happens? Somebody else comes along and seals the deal. Mm-hmm. And then you find out they're an It Works distributor with somebody else because you didn't follow up the 6th or 7th time.
Yep. Then you open your Instagram and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm now an It Works distributor. And you're like, oh, holy crap, I should have followed up with that person.
Yeah.
And that feels horrible because you know it's your fault. So like, you can't even be mad because it's like, it's you, girl. Like, you should have followed up. So following up is like super important. You'll hear Jade Hooper, who's number 4 in the company, say all the time that the fortune is in the follow-up, because you know, a large portion of people are not going to sign up on the spot. And that's totally fine. Like, my goal is always to sign them up on the spot, but I'm not going to go cry if they don't. Like, I'm good with either. My first goal is to sign them up. My second goal is to get a date from them. If I don't accomplish either of those things, then they're getting a message from me at least once a month. If you're brand new, I really recommend once a week, because like, you can manage that because you don't have as many potentials. But I mean, like, it would literally take me, like, I could not do everyone in a day. You know what I mean? So what I personally do is like, usually like 50 to 100 follow-ups a day. And again, since everybody's in my text, it's really simple to do. I just scroll all the way to the bottom. And those are the people that I last followed up with probably about a month ago. And I like just go up the list and do 50 to 100 a day on top of my new messages that I'm sending out. So then it works out to where I'm cycling through everybody about once a month. And if I notice that I'm kind of getting behind, like I was doing mine today, and I was just on like July 2nd, and it's August, you know, what is it? The 6th? I don't know. So obviously, you know, I was like a few days behind. So I did a few extra today to kind of catch up, because I want to make sure I hit everybody at least once a month. Because if not, one of you guys might be following up every week and they might sign with you. So that's follow-ups. And as far as what I say, it kind of just depends. Like, if I've recently talked to them, like, I'll follow up about whatever we were talking about. Like, hey, I have 1 spot left on my team this week. Do you want it? But if there's somebody who's been ignoring me for a few months, then I kind of just send different stuff. Like, I basically just try to, you know, elicit a response. So if I was talking to them about the business and they've ignored my last 4 follow-ups about the business, I'll probably shoot them a message about, you know, needing people to try to cleanse. And sometimes people are like, oh, well, I don't have $99 to join the business, but I have $36 to try the cleanse, and they might sign up as a loyal customer. So I kind of just like blitz my potentials with like different things like hair, skin, and nails, wraps, or if I have followed up with them about the products and they're not getting back to me about that, that kind of lets me know that maybe they don't have the money and they're just afraid to say that. So then I might kind of blitz them about the business. Like, hey girl, I just had a position open up on my team. Have you ever thought about making extra money from your phone? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so broke. That's why I haven't ordered. So just different things. You never know what people are going to respond to. It's always hit or miss. So the fourth thing that you need to be doing every single day is growing your network, because if you're talking to the same 100 people for the next year of your life, like, you're not going to get anywhere. So you need to be adding new friends and followers every single day so that there's always new eyes on your post, and you always have new people to message. Because on Instagram, you can like unsend your message if they read it and didn't respond and message them again. We call that unsend resend. So I do so many of those a day. But I try to gain as many new followers as I can every single day so that I can message new people. And then on Facebook, anybody who comments on, like if somebody does a host a post for me, all the people who comment and that I message, I make sure to send them a friend request because they're clearly interested in some aspect of your business. So even if they don't end up jumping on that first thing you talked about, now they're going to have eyes on every single thing that you're posting. You might make that one live post about, you know, whatever their concern is, that they think they don't have enough time, and maybe you address that in your post today and they see that and they reach out to you. Like, you just never know. So depending on how many host posts you're getting up, I try to get up 10 a day. So however many people I have to message on Facebook to get up 10 a day is always my goal. And that's always different because it just depends, you know, who you end up messaging, if they're willing to do it or not. So that might be 100 people a day, that might be 50, that might be 150. You just never know. But depending on how many host posts you're getting up and how many people you're adding from that, you might also want to send, you know, 25 or 30 extra Facebook friend requests. So constantly growing your network is just as important as everything else. And I always like to tell people that those four things are kind of a circle. Like, you're not going to be successful without all four of those things. And if you are missing one of those things, your circle is broken. So maybe you're posting, messaging, and growing your network, but you're not signing people because you're not following up, and the fortune is in the follow-up. Maybe you're posting and following up with, you know, the few people who may have reached out about that, and you're growing your network, but you're not reaching out to people. You're waiting on everyone to come to you. You're not going to get anywhere that way. So you really have to consistently do all four things every single day. And honestly, it shouldn't take you more than like an hour and a half tops, depending on how many messages you're sending out, which, like I said, the more the better. But to get all those things done, you know, you don't necessarily have to sit down for an hour and a half if that's not how your schedule works. Maybe you're too busy to do that. So it can be 10 minutes here and there, and it adds up to that. But for me, I have those non-negotiable things that I make sure I do before I allow myself to go to sleep at night, because, you know, my goals and my dreams are important to me. And I know that I have to be consistent with these things to get where I want to go. And I deserve that, and my family deserves that, and my team deserves that. The world's just a better place if I'm doing those things. So you kind of just have to prioritize and think about what's important. Like, I'm not going to sit down and watch TV if I haven't done my stuff. And honestly, once I've done my stuff, I'm still not going to probably sit down and watch TV, because I could just use that time to message more people and get where I want to go faster. So it just depends, you know, what you're willing to do and what's important to you. But the more you put in, the more you will get out. And this is not an overnight thing. That's why consistency is so important, because maybe you've been doing all four of those things for a couple of weeks and you haven't signed up a distributor yet. And that's okay. You're planting lots of seeds and your consistency will pay off. But sometimes it takes a couple weeks or even a couple months to, you know, really get in a groove and start to see those consistent enrollments. So if you want that to go faster, do more of the four things we just talked about. So I feel like I just threw a bunch of information at you guys. So do you have any questions? And I feel like I've really done minimal coughing, so that's good. Any questions? It can be about enrolling distributors, or if you guys have questions about anything else. I don't think any were put on the Facebook page, but let me double check.
Also, too, for those of you guys that are new, I would go into our team page, which is called Team Determination. Go and like hit the name of it, and you'll be able to edit notification settings. And sometimes Facebook has your notifications off on certain groups, so you may not be getting notifications for our group. So like turn on all posts, so you'll be able to see things like this, where we post that we're having a Zoom training, or we post tips and tricks and giveaways and all kinds of things. So you want to be getting notifications for that. So if they're off, just make sure you turn them on so you're getting notified. We don't want you to miss anything.
The only other thing I want to share, because I didn't see any questions, there's a fifth thing that I do actually that's super important, and it's called personal development. And if you're brand new, you might be like, what the heck is that? But personal development basically just means that, you know, you're watching a motivational video on YouTube, you're watching The Secret on Netflix, you're listening to an audiobook, you're reading an actual book. Anything that's going to help you grow and learn and just put you in a good mindset and make you a better person, make you more positive. A lot of times people don't really believe in that, but that is huge. And I wish Erica was on here because she really had a breakthrough with that. Like a lot of times people just don't believe that like that's a thing, or like mindset is important or anything like that. But when you start to realize that it is, and that, you know, anything you're putting out is what you're going to get more of back. So if you're being negative, if you're saying, you know, I'm not getting anywhere, nobody wants this, blah, 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 like that's what you're going to get more of. So, every single day I say positive affirmations out loud, and that consists of, you know, God is sending me the people who need this. I'm a mass enroller, blah, blah, blah. Whatever I want for my business, I say out loud. Like I claim it like it's already happening. And if you haven't watched The Secret on Netflix, that is like the most wonderful place to start, because it talks about the law of attraction and kind of what I said, whatever you put out is what you're going to get more of. And if you really hone in on that and take it seriously and use that to your advantage, you'll be amazed at the change that you see, not only in your business, but in your life. So if you're feeling bad or in a negative headspace or anything like that, that's something that you have to work at and practice every single day. And I do personal development on the days when I feel good and the days that I feel bad. And that's another thing that I'm just super consistent with. And that's one of my non-negotiables, that I won't go to bed until I've listened to, you know, an hour of personal development. But honestly, I usually listen to it like all day, every day. I used to always listen to it in the car, like when I was driving to school and work. I listen to it in the shower. Any opportunity that I have, I want my mind to be plugged into, you know, those good vibes. So that is pretty much all I have. Jen, do you have anything?
No, I think we covered a lot of great information. A lot of good stuff.
If you guys have any questions, you can ask. You can message me or ask on the team page or whatever. But just get out there and talk to people about this opportunity. And, you know, let your upline walk you through these conversations. Practice your posts. Make sure you're using the app Captivate to grow your network really quickly on Instagram. And if you need like a list of audiobooks to get plugged into or anything like that, I can help with that as well. So, and you can message, you know, me or Jen anytime that you have questions about anything. So that is all I have. If you guys don't have any questions, we can end this and you guys can go get to work. So I'm going to stop recording.